Hey there everybody, it's Nathan Cool with nathancoolphoto.com, and in this tutorial I wanted to show you how to do a gradient swap. Now this is a way to swap out a TV without having to put a scene in it. Sometimes people aren't really favoring the, oh, I've got the picture of the house that sits inside of the TV, or maybe you don't want to also distract from the room. Now I've got a rule, and I talk about this in my advanced editing book, is that if the TV doesn't occupy very much of the room, don't make it the distracting feature. Well, a quick way to do that with taking then the reflections off of the TV is to put in what I call a gradient swap. If the TV really does occupy a fairly large portion of the room, you might not want to do this. It might be good to put something else in, maybe one of your own landscape shots, or something of the outside of the house, or maybe even a feature that's nearby if the house is near the beach or something like that. But this is going to show you what you can do. It's very quick, doesn't take long at all. This is going to be a fairly quick tutorial, but it also then doesn't distract from the rest of the room, but it still takes away annoying reflections that you could have. You ready to get started? Let's take a look. Okay, this one is a prime example of where I would definitely probably just use a gradient swap for doing this. The problem area here that we're talking about is the television. So when we take a look at the TV over here, we've got this kind of a nasty reflection going on in there. You can see it's reflecting the fireplace that was in the room. And it's not bad. I mean, if I were to finish this photo off, I could probably get by with that, but it's just something that's a little annoying that's in that. Now, I could put in a regular scene like I mentioned, but this is just a very quick way to do this. Doesn't take long at all. So what I'm going to do is, this is a typical flash ambient blend. You've seen me do this many times, and of course I talk about this in my book on interior photography. But what I'm going to do is now go to the flash layer, which is on the bottom. So that's our true layer. I'm going to go over to the color picker over here on the left. I'm going to click the foreground color, and I'm going to go ahead and select what I think is a good color for the TV in the TV itself in this area. So I'm going to go ahead and click this dark area here. Seems to be about good, so that's good. And you can see it selected that for me, and I just click OK. Now I want to add a layer to the top, so I'm going to go to the topmost layer and just select that. Then down here on the bottom, I'm going to click this little half circle thing. What that does, it allows me to make a new layer. So I'm going to click that, and I'm going to select solid color. Now out of that, it automatically made then a new layer with that color that I had selected. It's not quite black. You can see down here it's 0C, 0C, 0D, which means, and you can see kind of here, it's in the blue kind of grayish view, so more natural looking color. Anyways, click OK on that. It's obviously hiding everything, so we want to reverse that layer mask. So select the layer mask and do Control I. That will invert that mask. Now what I want to do is I want to be able to select just the area of the TV. So I'm going to use my polygon tool, and I'm going to zoom in here to 100%, and I'm going to go ahead and draw a polygon around this area of where the TV is reflecting. Now, it doesn't have to be as accurate as when you do other type of TV swaps, because this is going to blend in with the TV a lot better. So once I've got that selected, I go back to the mask on that color fill layer, and I want to make sure that my colors are foreground black and background white. And that's what we've got over here. If they're not, you can click X to reverse those colors. But anyways, we want it black and then white, and then just press your delete key. Now that filled in that area. I'm going to deselect it by doing Control D. Now, that's not too bad. It could probably pass for a fill for that TV, but it doesn't look natural because light would naturally be going across it. So we want to add in a gradient. This is where it gets its name. So right-click on that layer, select Blending Options. And in Blending Options, there's a gradient overlay, so go ahead and click that. So once you select that, then you'll get this little bit of editing information over here for gradient overlay. You can see I can reverse it depending on where I want the light to be coming from. And I can select then the opacity of it, how much light I want to go across. I just want a little bit, not very much. And the scale down here is usually very large. Another important thing is the angle of where that light would be coming from. Usually right about there seems to be good. Now we can zoom out a little bit and see how that's looking naturally. And I'd probably want to go ahead and lower the opacity on that. And once I click OK, then we're not looking too bad. So this is with the gradient overlay, and this is without it. I think that with it, it actually looks better. Well, I told you this would be a very short tutorial. It really doesn't take much to apply a gradient swap. Now, if you're doing other TV swaps with your own natural scenes or with some of the views of the outside of the house, you know that they can take a little bit longer, especially trying to get those to blend, than some of the things that I show in the advanced book on adjusting the fill for doing that. Anyways, this is just a very quick alternative that you can use to just pump up your photography just a little bit more. Takes that annoying reflection out of the televisions, also doesn't then distract from the rest of the scene. Anyways, I hope you liked this video, and I hope that you can use some of this in your photography as well. If you did like this video and you want to see more, you can subscribe to this YouTube channel. It doesn't cost you anything, and as soon as one of these videos is posted, you'll be the first to know. Thanks a lot for watching. Until next time, take care, be safe, and get out there and shoot something.